do that in West Texas and you get a...
We saw something of this spirit. We shared in the adventure, the excitement, the euphoria of being there. We shared it with the men who bounced across the surface of the moon.
Look at the size of that biggie. It is a biggie, isn't it?
And the surprise of discovery. We were there too, all of us, watching vicarious explorers.
For the big boulder. Okay, we're headed that way. You get the tongs, John? Yep. I'll carry the rake. Look at the size of that rock. Can't believe it. I can't either. Okay, let's go on back. I am.
And the meaning, the significance of an occasion. That too came to us, flashed into our living rooms on a 19-inch window on the universe.
Countries throughout the world. We hope that this will be a symbol of what our feelings are, what the feelings of the Apollo program are, and a symbol of mankind that we can live in peace and harmony in the future.
There was also pride. They put up the flag and then posed for pictures as any visitor to a foreign place might do. The flag of each mission stood there as a reminder that we had been there, but there was the realization that in truth, it belonged to all the people. There are no boundaries on the moon. The focus was the moon. That's what it was all about. But by reaching up there, we, in a sense, came back here.
As one stands and scans a 360-degree panorama of his own, one of the first objects in the dark lunar sky that you see is a bright and beautiful bluish globe that we call Earth. This globe represented to all of us, I think, not only home, but a very fragile place that we have come back and felt that needed not only protection, but understanding.
They first went there in 1969. They last left there in late 1972. Between the beginning and the conclusion, they came to feel, to dimly perceive what it was all about, to come to a perspective on the meaning of it all. Poet Archibald MacLeish has said it better than most. To see the earth as it truly is, small and blue and beautiful, in that eternal silence where it floats, is to see ourselves as riders on the earth together, brothers who know now they are truly brothers. The excitement of the mission, the tension and drama of the splashdown, they remain only in our memories. And in time, they'll be replaced in the future by other missions, other memories. The moments of Apollo may be over, but the understanding and the discovery, they go on. And the full meaning, the real meaning, may yet be in the future too. But for now, for the present, the images and the sounds provide meaning enough to each in his own way and to each in his own time.
Coming up on OU Nightly, the stretch of severe weather continues as there has been a tornado watch issued for central and eastern portions of Oklahoma until 9 p.m. Details on that coming up next.
And the Norman Music Festival is back. Find out who is headlining the festival and how they may be impacted by the upcoming weather. Plus, an update on what happened to the 57 people arrested at the University of Texas at Austin. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Marilyn Fitzer.
And I'm Stone Weber. We begin tonight with a look at active storms firing up across the state.
Let's get over to OU Nightly meteorologist Drake Foley with a look at today and tomorrow's severe weather threat.
Thanks, y'all. Right now, we are tracking a line of storms firing right off of 35 where this dry line is positioned off to the west, even leaving a severe thunderstorm warning up here in Tulsa, and also a deadly tornado threat up in Nebraska right now. Our prayers are with them. And right now, looking at our state, we do actually have a tornado watch in effect for our central and eastern portions of Oklahoma. That goes till 9 p.m. And that severe weather outbreak we're also looking at, that outlook has enhanced portions towards the eastern parts of Oklahoma. And tomorrow is a big deal. We're looking at parts of central all the way out into eastern Oklahoma, all in these enhanced to slight risks on a day that could bring all severe weather threats. So coming up in main weather, we're going to talk about the tornado watch, the storm ingredients for tomorrow, and that severe Saturday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Drake. And if you're heading to the Norman Music Festival, keep your eyes to the skies. There's worry the weather might just turn off the music. OU Nightly's CD Finley has more.
Thanks, Alan. That's right. The Norman Music Festival is back, and it was off to a great start. A lot of people flocked here to Main Street last night to take in all the sights and sounds of the music and the live music and the food at the festival. However, there is concern that severe weather might cut the festival short tomorrow.
In anticipation for the severe weather that is probably going to come on Saturday, just because I don't want it to get shut down. Because I know so many people have been really preparing for this.
Now, I did speak to the executive director of the Norman Music Festival, and she said that she's working closely with the National Weather Service to get the latest information about tomorrow's severe weather threat. Now, in order to keep up with all the alerts for the Norman Music Festival specifically, be sure to follow them on all of their social media. Reporting in Norman for the last time, CD Finley, OU Nightly.
Thanks, CD. And while storms may be brewing for the festival, a local legislator is bringing a whirlwind of tunes as well. Oklahoma State Representative Jared Deck is a headliner for the event, and he says balancing between two careers creates long days and even longer weekends.
Work anywhere from 6 to 12, maybe a 14-hour day at the Capitol. And then on the weekends, I'm out playing. And it is interesting trying to juggle the two careers. I think a lot of people see me as a bit of an anomaly at the Capitol.
Deck will be playing tomorrow at 11:10 p.m. at the Norman Music Festival.
And a peaceful sit-in at UT Austin took a turn when police entered the scene.
We have an update about what happened to those protesters when we come back.
And former President Donald Trump's longtime friend takes the stand in his hush money trial.
What she testified when OU Nightly returns.
My baby's back from the West Coast.
Here are those pictures that you asked for your school project? First day of school, cute as a button.
So long ago.
Oh, here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe. And it's the best way to protect that legacy.
Those beans smell heavenly.
Give Mom a little credit.
You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year.
Oh,
great idea.
At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with the link.
Okay.
Smart.
I'm coming to share with you guys.
Protect your legacy. Plan for natural disasters today. Visit ready.gov/plan.
It is springtime here in Oklahoma. Of course, that means severe weather.
This is definitely not something to take lightly into this afternoon and evening.
Some stronger tornadoes, anywhere between EF2 to EF5 intensity. Now is the time to prepare
for a tornado or a severe thunderstorm to really produce some destruction.
Itinerary of this sit-in included scholastic teach-ins, but the presence of police with batons, chemical weapons, pepper bullets is making us all on edge.
It's day 3 of pro-Palestinian protests at the University of Texas at Austin. The Travis County Attorney's Office confirms to OU Nightly that charges were dropped for all 57 people who were arrested at yesterday's protest. The protesters were charged with criminal trespassing, but the Attorney's Office says they could not find a probable cause. All 57 have been released. And it's not just UT. As protests continue to grow in the U.S., demonstrations expand across the world supporting Palestine. OU Nightly's Rachel Mosshammer has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
College campuses halfway across the world join U.S. pro-Palestinian students this week after protests break out in both London and Paris. At the University College London, students gather outside to protest against the school ties to Israeli institutions. The Warwick Stands with Palestine group posted a photo of an encampment set overnight, saying it wanted to reclaim the campus for Gaza after the university failed to meet its demands. Former President Donald Trump's longtime assistant, Ronna Graff, testified in his hush money trial today after being called to the stand by prosecutors. Graff says she recalled seeing adult film star Stormy Daniels visiting Trump Tower before he ran for president, but assumed that she was there to audition for his reality TV show, The Apprentice. The trial resumes Tuesday morning. Amid this year's election, both President Biden and Donald Trump say that they are both open to face off in a presidential debate. Biden says today that he would be happy to debate Trump, which is the first time he has explicitly mentioned a debate this election season. Trump has posted on social media that he will debate Biden, quote, anytime, anywhere, and any place, after suggesting a debate at his Michigan rally. Reuters says that ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, announces that it would rather shut down the app in the U.S. entirely than sell it. Stone, Ireland.
Thanks, Rachel. Still to come, OU football has another first-round pick in the NFL under its belt.
Find out who it was and where he's going in Big Friday sports. But before we get to that, your campus weather authority is looking ahead at this weekend's severe weather chances.
Yeah, that's right. We have a developing severe weather situation going on. We're going to keep tracking that and tell you more details about Saturday coming up.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, if your shower can fill a 1-gallon bucket in less than 20 seconds, replace the shower head with a water-efficient one. They are cheap, easy to install, and can save you up to 750 gallons a month. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. Right now we're taking a look at that tornado, or at our campus cam, sorry about that. And right now those temperatures are right now sitting at those temperatures are sitting at 84 in Norman, 84 in Wichita, 73 in Kansas City. And up north, we are tracking a deadly tornado around in the Lincoln, Omaha area and moving north. Prayers to all those people there. And current temperatures right now across the state, like we were talking about earlier, 83, 84, really nice. But we are seeing right now on our radar storms starting to pop up towards the south, moving out towards the east. Tulsa right now under that severe thunderstorm warning, and we're going to keep tracking those as those move farther east as we have that enhanced risk out to the parts of the eastern portions of our state, including Tulsa, Miami, all the way out east down to the southeast in Idabel. And those risks right now we're looking at are tornadoes right now, 2%. Then you get to Tulsa, 5%. And then farther east, we see that 10%. And that 10% goes all the way north to where we're seeing those tornadoes right now. And then the large hail risk is also there with that higher risk out towards the east where that enhanced region also is. And then lows tonight aren't going to be low per se. They're going to be near the 70s, except if you're out in Guyman, you're going to get 47. It's going to feel like a different season out there to you. But those highs tomorrow, 70s across the state, even hotter out there in Woodward at 84 for those storms tomorrow. Now let's look at how this storm is going to set up tomorrow. So we see all this moisture right here pushing to the east. That's for the storms today. But that moisture is going to come back up and it's going to reform as that dry line pushes out west. And that's how that humidity is coming through now. And it's going to continue to push east into Sunday morning. And that's how we're going to see those storms. Now that futurecast that we have been talking about, this is showing storms today. Those actually move out and then we start to clear up. But by 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're going to start to see storms form with that morning convection. That line is going to bring forth the rest of the day worth of storms where you see all these discrete cells popping up all the way through 44 out to Tulsa, where we could see those tornadoes, that hail. And then we also have that flash flooding risk as this moves up, really passing 35 all the way east with that line. That's going to bring a lot of rain before it starts to clear out through Sunday morning. So we were talking about that outlook. Where are those regions at? We have the enhanced regions right here out to the slight out in the east. We also have that tornado risk, that 10% hatch where we could see violent tornadoes all the way from Texas all the way up into Kansas, completely keeping parts of Oklahoma. We also have that large hail risk tomorrow too. Could see something such as apple size tomorrow, as well as damaging wind risk with those storms and that line that moves through later. Going into our 7-day forecast though, that's why Saturday we see 76. That's when our big storms are. Sunday as well, we have that's when the storm's going to clear out, but in the morning we do have that chance of severe weather. Monday it's going to start to clear up before Tuesday, 86. Wednesday, it's going to be 81. Then we have those 70s back in our forecast again, getting into Thursday and Friday. And I know that I am ready for that clearer weather, especially after this stretch of severe weather that we've had this week.
Right. So Drake, you talked about the stretch of severe weather. High tornado chances this weekend in Norman? Or?
I would say that it's a medium chance of tornadoes that we could see. That 10% right now is kind of what we're looking at. And just make sure you know where your shelter is and how to stay safe as situations arise tomorrow.
All right, thanks Drake for that update on severe weather and what we should maybe be doing. And the NFL draft has begun, and one former Sooner got some new threads last night.
And this weekend, the Sooners host Texas for a 3-game series. We'll have a live report with what OU baseball can expect. Don't go anywhere. Big Friday Sports is next.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. I'm Kaylee Carnine.
And I'm Kenzie Eiserman. We have a busy show for you today, but let's start off with the highly anticipated NFL Draft. A Sooner was in the spotlight as Tyler Guyton was drafted 29th by the Dallas Cowboys. The offensive tackle played his first 2 years at TCU and then the last 2 here in Norman. This draft not only marked Oklahoma's 49th overall first-round pick, but also OU's second straight offensive tackle taken in the first round.
And the draft is already carrying some OU DNA with Guyton as the new guy in Dallas, but other Oklahoma Sooners are waiting to find their new home. OU Nightly's Kaylee Jo Hummel has more on one Sooners' journey to the big league.
Some would call it a Sooner snub after Drake Stoops was notably not invited to the NFL Combine. The wide receiver put up career numbers for the 2023 season, catching 10 touchdowns. But OU Pro Day was time for Stoops to shine.
Seemed like everybody was pretty worked up about it. Yeah. I can't allow myself to get, whether mad, sad, anything about it, because at the end of the day, I know I'm having an opportunity at Pro Day, and so that's what I have my eyes set on, and so I can continue to train and get ready for this, because at the end of the day, it's still an opportunity, just like the Combine. I'm doing all the same drills, running routes, doing all of that.
Stoops has a positive mindset entering the NFL Draft. He knows he's worked to the best of his abilities to prove he's earned his place in the pros.
At the end of the day, I can't control who wants me and who doesn't, but I know I can do my best and, lay my head down at night at peace with that.
The Receivers College chapter has come to a close, and it's the people from his time at Oklahoma he will remember the most.
All my teammates, all my coaches, that's what I'll always remember, especially the teammates. You just build a bond. Football's such a hard sport, and it's year-round, and the off-season's grueling, and so just being close with your guys, and it's kind of like a fraternity that you'll have for the rest of your life, and, I'll never forget the memories I made here.
The draft continues into Saturday from Detroit, Michigan. Reporting from Everest Training Center, Kaylee Jo Hummel, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kaylee. Last night, in the first pick in this year's NFL Draft, taking them to the Chicago Bears was none other than former Sooner Caleb Williams. And as you can see, there's not too much of an interaction between him and USC head coach Lincoln Riley. After trading in the Crimson for the Cardinal, Williams had many notable victories, including Heisman winner for 2022. According to ESPN, Caleb's already setting records in Chicago. His merch is now the highest draft night sales value in any sports.
Well, Skip Johnson's boys are back, and the Bats are on fire. Today, the 18th-ranked Sooners look to sizzle the Longhorns at home and keep the Red River hot. OU Nightly's Aiden Tyler is live from L. Dale Mitchell Park with a preview.
The Sooners host the Longhorns here at L. Dale Mitchell Park for the first time since 2018. OU baseball coach Skip Johnson understands the importance of the rivalry as he was the Longhorns pitching coach for 10 seasons, and the Sooners say they expect a huge crowd turnout for the weekend rivalry series.
As a head coach, when I got the opportunity to be the head coach, and my vision was try to pack the place, and because I've been sitting in that other dugout when they're screaming Boomer Sooner. I mean, it gets hostile at times, and it's got to be every pitch. And our fans have really bought into that, and it's been fun to watch. And I'm really thankful that they're here. We've got a great fan base.
I'm looking forward to it a lot. I know we all are, and we're super excited to see how many people come out. I'm sure we're gonna probably break some records because we've never had as big a game as these are going to be here at home. So it's cool.
And the Sooners are red hot as they've won 8 straight games instead of top the Big 12 with a 14-4 conference record. Reporting live from L. Dale Mitchell Park, Aiden Tyler, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Aiden. Swinging over to the ladies, the final road series for OU softball is here. This weekend, the Sooners are in Orlando to take on UCF in a 3-game conference series. In the all-time series, Oklahoma is 2-0 against the Knights and outscored them 15-1 in those games. OU heads into this weekend in first with a 1-game lead over Texas in the Big 12 standings. First pitch is at 5 p.m. tonight on ESPN+.
Well, from the red dirt to the regattas, let's hit the water for an inside look into one of OU rowers' journeys halfway around the world to the Crimson and Cream. OU Nightly reporter Melina Samir has the story.
The story behind the stroke. Her first chapter begins in Belgrade, Serbia.
Like, just try it. Went on the first practice, it was just like inside condition and everything. I was so sore. And second practice, it was in a boat. And from that day until now, it's been like 12 years. Don't want to get out of there.
And during those 12 years, Angela Nisevic took the journey through uncharted waters to Norman, Oklahoma.
It was a little bit scary moment for me, like for leaving family and everything. I came in November for official visit, and I signed the contract in December, and I came January 2020. At that time, I was basically the only girl in my club rowing by myself with the guys around, and seeing 50 girls around, it was amazing.
Not only does Nisevic represent the Crimson and Cream, she also took her talents to the international stage.
I was in the Worlds for 2017 for Serbia, then a couple of Balkan rowing championships, national champion of France. Last summer I was their sparring partner, rowing a little bit for them, being there, and then this September I went there too and rowed their big nationals for seniors.
Now for Angela, leaving her family behind in Serbia wasn't easy, but she found her second family here at the University of Oklahoma.
It was, I would say, like really like hard. It was a big cultural shock, and everything, language and everything was different. After a month, you're kind of forgetting about it. Sometimes it's so funny, I would talk to my mom and say, hey, I'm going home. Home? Yeah, this is my home. Now this is my home.
While her time as an OU rower is coming to a close, there are still more chapters to be written on and off the water. Reporting from Norman, Melina Samir, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Melina. Well, OU Nightly has an exclusive interview with a current Sooner who just wrapped up their year.
That's right. Find out who, plus even more, coming up next.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
It is springtime here in Oklahoma. Of course, that means severe weather.
This is definitely not something to take lightly into this afternoon and evening.
Some stronger tornadoes, anywhere between EF2 to EF5 intensity. Now is the time to prepare
for a tornado or a severe thunderstorm to really produce some destruction.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Welcome back to Big Friday Sports, and here's your game day forecast. Even though we're tracking severe weather throughout the state, it's going to be nice here in Norman, at least tonight for the first game. 80 around the time of first pitch, but it's going to drop down to 71 by 10 p.m. But it is going to be a little windy, so we might see some dingers fly out of the park. But for tomorrow, though, there is a big chance of storms that we've been tracking for a while, and that could lead to a postponement or cancellation of this game. So we need to make sure to keep a lookout for that, but make sure to stay weather aware tomorrow, especially starting around 10 a.m. all the way out to the rest of the night as this severe weather comes through. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Drake. Flipping into OU men's gymnastics, fifth-year senior Jack Freeman has wrapped up his time here as a Sooner. At the NCAA championship, Freeman led Oklahoma to a third-place finish. OU Nightly's Hayden Fuller introduces you to who Freeman is on and off the mat.
Jack Freeman has been putting up numbers and celebrations as he's got himself to be a finalist for the Neeson Emery Award, and not even he knows how to feel.
That's crazy. You know, I mean, I never really thought I would end up here or making that impact on people to where I would be considered for it. It means a lot because, like, that means I'm setting up kind of the next group of guys. Like, if I'm doing my job and I'm able to be selected for something like that, then maybe someone that is buying into me and what my ideologies are, like, then maybe they'll be set up for the same thing. So it's kind of like set the next guy up. So
now, Jack doesn't even know when the showmanship actually started. He just likes to have fun with it and give his family something to laugh at and enjoy.
I don't know, man. We kind of like tease around, play around when you like to hit a good set, you know, and everybody wants to have that superstar feel, find the camera, you know, make an impression for everybody that's not able to be at the meet. So I really look out for that. I have a lot of family members that just watch it through the TV and the live stream, so I kind of want to like give them something to laugh at, or, you know, like, oh, it's Jack, or it's good.
Now, while Coach Williams is counting on Jack for his routines, he's also counting on him to bring the energy to both the team and McCaslin.
Well, Jack's more of an energy guy than I am, so I kind of rely on him to be sort of that emotional, you know, member of the team who kind of brings up practices and brings the energy to the meets and has that enthusiasm and passion for the gymnastics in a vocal way.
Reporting from McCaslin, this has been Hayden Fuller, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Hayden. And OU track attacks at the Rock Chalk Classic tomorrow in Lawrence, Kansas. Don't blink, Sooner fans. You might miss BJ Green down the runway. The indoor Big 12 champ now ranks first in the nation in the triple jump. The Sooners have one more meet after this, and then they're going to outdoor Big 12 championship time.
On to the pros. The Thunder are booming heading into the third game of their NBA playoff series against the Pelicans. In Game 2, OKC beat New Orleans 124-92, and head coach Mark Daigneault knows a hostile environment awaits them on the road.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about an understanding that the opponent is going to be hungry and that the environment's going to be hostile, and that's going to be the context of the game. And that you've got to have, you know, great mental toughness, and you've got to have great focus within that context to perform well enough to win that game.
Sooner in the pros is going bananas. Jocelyn Alo just became the first woman to sign a deal with the Savannah Bananas today, but Alo and the Bananas will split. Her contract is just 1 month. She bats for the Bananas for the first time tonight at 9 against the Party Animals.
That's awesome. That'll be cool to see her in that. But back at the Thunder, what are your thoughts about the playoffs?
I gotta practice my bark. I mean, J-Dub and the boys, they've been doing great. It's been fun to watch, especially the last game.
Oh, absolutely. I have to agree with you there.
I'm super excited. Well, for one last time, thank you for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Kaylee Carnine.
And I'm Kenzie Eiserman. And like always, be sure to tune in to all Sooner Sports this weekend and stay classy, Norman.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman knows that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the